Silent Directive is a horror podcast. There are many themes some users may find disturbing. Please check the description before listening. Thank you. The Silent Directive. Episode 1. The Speaker. 160.23 gigahertz. Before I begin this new journey, I must ask you to go back and listen to my first 8 tapes. They tell the story of my being, my beginning. The story in this broadcast explains those events, but if you'd like to experience them firsthand, you still can. Alright, if you're still listening, you either already listened to the tapes or you don't care. Either way, fine by me. What could be a more fitting first story than my own? I was never alive. Not how you are, at least. The day I was born dead. A familiar tragedy. Sometimes avoidable, sometimes not. My death was avoidable. But it seems my mother didn't care for me enough to put the cigarette down. Sure enough, I died. Now, I don't know how souls work. I don't pretend to know the wisdom of the universe. All I know is I was so ready to be born, my soul didn't retreat to try again or stay in whatever before there is. I was so attached to my body, I possessed it. I possessed my own corpse. As you can imagine, I grew up different. I still aged normally, my body was still a body, but my entire life, my soul was tied to that body very, very loosely. I didn't know what I was doing. Emergent souls rarely do. I didn't even know anything was different until I learned how other people slept. See, I never did. My body fell asleep, of course, but unlike you, I didn't wake up the next morning with no memory of the long hours of the night. Instead, as my body fell asleep, I woke up. I felt myself float upward and out of my body. There it was, sleeping in bed, yet I was in the air, free to roam. I thought it was the same for everyone. I'd wager it's just as difficult for you to imagine me roaming around my house as it is for me to imagine hours of sleep passing you by in a mere instant. I would float around my house, memorizing every divot in the drywall, counting every hair of the carpets, tracing every line in the wooden floor. Every morning when the sun would rise and my alarm would sound, I was pulled back into my body and I woke up feeling rested as usual. I had never grasped the concept of boredom before. I was never bored during the night. I only began to feel bored when, during the day, I found myself with hours to spare, yet I was stuck to my body. I tried to fulfill my nightly routine, count a new carpet, study a new wall, but my body couldn't keep up. I got exhausted too fast, and my brain could hardly focus. I found myself more and more eager to sleep. One day, as the sun came up, I felt that familiar pull back to my body, and for whatever reason, I decided to fight it. I didn't actually care, I was just curious. Could I? It turns out I could. I resisted the pull until it subsided. My body stayed asleep, through my alarm and well into the day. I remember a feeling of excitement. That was a new emotion for me. Through my life, it had all been dull, going through the motions, doing what I was told and expected. But now I was free. I could wander, explore, and no one would give me off looks or change their actions behind my back. I was finally free. I could roam wherever I wanted, see whatever I wanted. My mother found me in my bed a few hours later. She tried to wake me, but there was nothing to wake. I was behind her, watching it all unfold. I didn't understand the sadness she felt. Wasn't she aware I was free? Why was she so disturbed and upset by my still body when I was finally untethered? As the EMTs rushed to my bed and tried to help me, I watched with curiosity. What a fascinating event to see, as an observer, not a participant. I didn't change the outcome by watching. As I was watching, ready to leave and wander the world, I felt a pull. This one was different. It wasn't toward my body, like usual. This was a pull away. Not in any direction, yet I felt it pulling me away from here, from this place. I was suddenly struck with a realization. This pull was final. It was indefinite, and it was irrefutable. I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay and explore this vast world. I wasn't ready for the peace the pull promised. So I reached my body and felt myself slip back inside. I woke up suddenly, shocking the EMTs and my mother. Everyone was confused, but I was not. I had a plan. I knew what I wanted. It was after that I began looking into the paranormal. If this was true for me, it must be true for others, right? Based on my own experiences, I was easily able to differentiate what was truth from what was lies. And that is where my story started. I went on a trip around the world. I knew I had to become something different. If I merely died or slept, my soul would eventually succumb to that pull, as all souls do. I devised a plan. If I became some sort of paradox, some enigma as I called it, I would be able to roam forever. You were there for those events. You listened as I enacted my plan. Unlike a haunt or even an anomaly, I'm not a singular being anymore. I was able to fracture and twist my soul into something else. A frequency. Frequencies are everywhere. They will never cease to exist. They will never be locked out of somewhere. More than air, more than gravity. They are untouched by the world. No sealed doors nor black holes can stop them. That is what I am now. My body is laying somewhere dead on a beach in Thailand, but I am everywhere. I wish I could explain it to you. The feeling is unlike anything we were ever meant to experience. Imagine submerging yourself in a large pool, and as you do, you can see what every drop of water sees. You can hear what every drop hears. It's amazing. I am the static in your headphones, the patterns under your eyes, the noise in your photos. I am the observer of the universe. It took me nearly a year to collect myself again, learn how to organize my being enough to broadcast a message. I hope you enjoy them. I do not regret leaving the world behind. I never felt human. My only regret is having to leave Philibert. He was a good friend. I hope he finds his final peace well. I'm glad he was there through my journey. That is something I learned as of late. As much as I wanted to be an invisible observer, there is an emptiness behind it. What is there to observing if you cannot share it? Which brings me back to you. I am so glad you choose to listen to my stories. I have so many. I've seen so much, and I cannot wait to share these unseen, untold stories with you all. As long as there is someone to hear, I will continue to share.